Hello and welcome to another update video about Algorand. I know a lot of you guys like Algorand, and that is why I create another update video, technical analysis update. We are on the 4-hour chart, and what we can currently see is the beginning or the formation of a breakout structure or formation. In my opinion, it's not 100% valid yet, but it is. It looks pretty good to me. So we've got, what do we essentially have? So maybe let's just recap of where we are. Currently trading at 177, suffered in today's drop as well, but it has held really well compared to the other cryptos. As we said, it came all the way down already to the 150 level, the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level a few days ago. Then we went all the way up to the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. Yesterday I talked about this $2.04 or $2.05 resistance level, and I did say if we break above that, that could really be a very interesting and positive continuation to the upside. But we've bounced off that level, so we are on our way down again. And it seems like that this ascending trend line, which I've actually just put onto the chart, could really be a valid one, together with this descending one that you can see here. Essentially what it is a breakout formation, and this is a flag pattern, you could call it, or a pennant. So pretty much a symmetrical triangle that is forming here, which essentially is a trend continuation pattern. So essentially we need to look at, are we in an uptrend or a downtrend? And we are in an uptrend on the long-term perspective. We are above the 200-day moving average. Yes, we are sort of, and I would need to go to the daily to just take a look at where we are compared to the 50 and the 20-day moving average. And what can we see? We are above the 50, above the 200, which is that yellow line. The 50 is the blue line. We are trading sort of around the 20-day moving average, so we're not really respecting that level at all at the moment. It does neither provide support nor resistance really. On the daily, at least, it doesn't. But yeah, we are still in an uptrend in my view, as long as we are moving up here, making higher lows. And we are also above the 200 and the 50-day moving average, and we've made that golden cross recently. So what does that mean, that breakout formation? Well, it means that we are currently moving sideways in a sense. So we are sort of actually moving in this channel between the 150 level and the $2.05 level. This is between the 0.786 Fibonacci retracement level and the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level. And we can see that these trend lines are converging, and at some point there will be the breakout happening. This is a breakout formation. So if we go further, and when we have these breakout formations, you can pretty much guarantee that here before the 1st of October a breakout will happen, and that could be a huge one because it's a huge triangle. I mean, I must say we have one touch here at the ascending trend line, a second touch here. We don't really have a confirmation of a third touch. I always want a third touch, because then for me it's only then it really is a valid trend line. But to be honest, what we could probably do, let me just take that out. It looks to me like that we could possibly continue that trend line going further, possibly all the way down here. Yeah, and then you actually have your touches. So we've got one touch here, 2 touches there, 3 touches there. This is another touch of a body, and yeah, it's just it's a trend line. It's a valid trend line, and if we talk about that and then have a breakout, that could be a huge one. That could be a huge one, because normally when you have a triangle like that, you would take like the height of the beginning of the triangle, which, to be honest, probably is here, because we don't if we could extend that, we can't extend that further. It will just cut through bodies. So that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to cut through bodies. I am happy to cut through wicks, but not through bodies. And if I was to continue that here, I would cut through bodies. So I could possibly extend that just a little bit further, but at some point then I'm going to cut through bodies, which I want to avoid. So possibly something like that to here. That's where another body is touching that trend line. And then as a possible price target, if we take the height of that, and then we move it over here, then we've got our price target of 275. That could take us to, and that would be a nice a new higher high. And let's see if that works out from this perspective as well. And oh wonder, that is interesting, because I had this trend line on the chart earlier actually. What you have is from that high to that high, it was basically a bit more, and I had these connected as well as another trend line, basically an ascending trend line as well. And I did say, you know, when we move up here at some point, we could potentially hit that trend line as well. It could actually be one, even though I only have 2 touches, but if I connect that further, I get to this 275 level. That is quite interesting that they actually work out together. So we've got a trend line possibly here, and these happen matching at some point there. So yeah, 275 is certainly, if that breakout formation, if that breaks and we have really that continuation to the upside, which nobody can guarantee, that's what nobody knows. You know, you always, as a trader, you always have to wait for the breakout, but that is certainly a very important level to watch here currently at. That would be at around $2. We would need to break above $2, and bear in mind we also have that 205 level, that horizontal one, which is the important Fibonacci retracement level from which we bounced back yesterday to the downside. So I think we might see a bit of continuation in that formation here, and at some point then we will break out. If we break to the upside, I think we can certainly expect then that price target at some point to reach at 275. And if we drop to the downside, you know what, there is not much support there, because we had from down here at 120, we really had a huge pump to the upside. I think the next support, that level that we'll probably have then, is at around 125. We had resistance here and we had resistance here. It had retest here, and also it was resistance here. So I think 125 to the downside if we break below 150, but it is... you know, there are some things coming up in October for Algorand anyway, and we've got that breakout formation. It would be perfect match from here then to move to 275 at some point when that sentiment changes to the upside for Algorand. And yeah, really interesting formation building here. So let's see, and we're going to track that, and you can track it as well if you put these lines onto your chart as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and bye bye.